So I was never actually skeptical, but I'm very discerning and very critical of the New Age movement because the majority of people in the New Age movement don't know what they're talking about. And they are undisciplined, and their minds are not well trained, and they're quite naive. There's no easy definition to the New Age movement. In general, specifically, it means those who expect a new age on Earth coming very soon. And all of the benevolent extraterrestrials are here, actually, to assist the process of the new civilization, which is the New Age. Loosely speaking, people involved with pyramids or crystals, alternative healing, meditation, channeling, past lives, reincarnation, all of these things are grouped together under the term New Age. Many of the ideas of the New Age are ancient ideas, such as mystic training and healing from alternate sources.
So are these then extraterrestrial prophecies?
Many of the people involved in the New Age movement are extraterrestrial souls. Many of them have been on Earth for many, many centuries, many lifetimes, and are somewhat glamored or confused in different ways, and yet their hearts are good. And they show the profile of ET souls. The New Age agenda, the New Age scene, is not created by ETs. The extraterrestrials are here as messengers and as facilitators to a New Age which is cosmically determined. The New Age is a cosmic event not created by humanity. The New Age scene in America, in any country, is actually a symptom, a sign, an effect of a cosmic cycle changing. And the cosmic cycle that's changing is one that brings us from the level of individuality, self-assertion, and ambition to a level of heart, kindness, loving, and compassion. And that is the New Age. Those are the qualities of the New Age civilization.
So that extraterrestrial philosophy then lines up with ancient peoples like Mayans or Indians or spiritual leaders or Buddhists, or so is it a collection of all these different philosophies, including extraterrestrial, ancient peoples, all these things?
I think that it's a reverse, or it's upside down to say that the ideas of ETs in the New Age are coming from ancient religions or cultures or mystic traditions. Actually, many, many people believe, myself included, that those ancient cultures received their teachings, their mystic teachings, from extraterrestrials, that these religions were started by prophets who were enlightened masters, teachers, who ultimately were extraterrestrials or beings from other systems who came here to offer that teaching of self-development and training to humanity. So it's actually a return to where we started, but it's a return with full awareness. Now humanity as a whole can retain or regain its birthright and our place in the galaxy. But this has to be, I want to make sure this is seen as a counterpoint or a counterbalance to abductions and cover-ups and the negativity and the material emphasis in the UFO.
We have to get the sound effects back in there. All right, the sound effects back in. Thanks.
Okay. Scott, where we're going to go is we're going to start examining the idea of negative and positive extraterrestrials. I also want to get into the idea of government cover-up and UFO sightings and things like that, and how it's part of the bigger picture.
Sure.
And whatnot. So let's go back to the idea of negative and positive. We understand the positive role which we covered in this is a benevolence to help with the coming of the new age.
You have all that on tape, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we covered all that earlier.
Good.
Now let's talk about how the negative extraterrestrials can actually manifest their presence amongst humans.
There are a number of different extraterrestrial groups that we would call evil or negative or serving themselves. Occasionally they incarnate and they are negative wanderers. That's not very common. In general, they operate out of UFOs. They are those responsible for the negative or the terrifying abductions. The negative groups also give military technology to whoever wants it. They are involved in mind control technologies, and they also help people hurt themselves. They actually accelerate and they amplify fear, negativity, doom, terror, helplessness, all the negative qualities that make us forget our divine self. All of those qualities, all that negativity is amped up, intensified by negative extraterrestrials, as well as genuine demonic forces. There are negative beings that we would call demonic or satanic, and they're non-physical. They're not all ETs, but many of them are.
To what end?
The end of negativity, the goal of negativity is enslavement.
The end of negative
Yeah.
extraterrestrials?
Yeah, the end, right? Why don't we say?
Okay, fair enough.
The goal and the objective of all negative extraterrestrial groups is, number one, to enslave the masses, number two, to establish the elite, and three, to try to create a negative colony on Earth as part of a genuine evil empire, a transgalactic negative empire in which Earth becomes a slave colony ruled by an elite. And some people believe that many people are already involved in trying to create that on Earth right now.
But why in such subtle ways? Why not in more dominant ways? Come to Earth with technology, wipe it out, and use it for your own goods. Why such subtle ways?
And are they off the same planet?
The negative extraterrestrials come from many different groups. My belief, in accordance with some very valuable, genuine information I've read, is the majority of negative extraterrestrials come from the Orion system, as well as the Southern Cross system. Those are not the only groups of negative extraterrestrials on the planet, and there may well be some from those systems that are not negative. The negative extraterrestrials cannot come down here and destroy the planet and enslave the people and create a ruling elite, because they're constrained by the law of free will. They're constrained by cosmic law, as well as constrained or limited, held back by positive extraterrestrials. If they could control and dominate the planet, they would do it, but they're limited in their negativity on Earth.
Is there almost kind of like a cosmic battle between the good extraterrestrials and the evil extraterrestrials?
At certain levels in the universe, there are battles between positive and negative groups. In general, these battles take place between forces that simply defend themselves and others that try to conquer them. And ultimately, you have the battle between those who want to control and those who only seek to love, and yet won't allow themselves to be destroyed. This is the idea of Armageddon. And many ET sources say that the Armageddon on Earth has already started. And the main portion of Armageddon is actually happening on the inner planes, at a spiritual level, around Earth, between positive and negative extraterrestrial groups. There's even a book called War in Heaven. Don't plug that guy's book.
What's that?
That was okay.
Because when you were saying the idea that they're on certain planes of existence and on other planetary solar systems, there have been battles of good and evil, and she's right. It does sound a lot like something we see out of Star Wars or Star Trek or these other things. Does that type of stuff actually happen?
Some of what we see in movies such as Star Wars actually does happen.